So if you clicked on this video, you are a lover of decorating for Christmas also. So we are getting close to the season. Some of you already may be decorating. I'm trying to be strong and hold back, but I thought I would share like 10 ideas of how to prep. Like, we may not be putting the decorations out there, completely out there quite yet, but we can prep. We can start gathering little vignettes, and then when we do get ready to decorate, we can put them in the place that they're going to stay through the season, unless you're me and you change it constantly. But anyway, so I thought it would just be a fun, like, because right now the stores, all the stores, everybody, Halloween, the next day, it was like, whew, we have Christmas, antique, thrift stores, all the big box stores. So I thought this would be a perfect time because then you can start looking for items if you're still prepping and preparing for how you want to do your Christmas decor this season. Now, I want to keep it pretty simple. Hopefully things that you can find when you're out and about. I am a vintage Christmas lover, so a lot of mine will be vintage. That it's just the idea. You can gather up any other kind of decor and use the same ideas with some of the newer stuff, some of your found stuff. You can create your own, but I'm just going to be sharing. A lot of it is vintage, and y'all know that watch the channels know that I am weak when it comes to vintage Christmas, especially Santa. I have a thing for Santa, y'all. I have a thing for a bearded man. But anyway, mini Santa mugs. Mini. And I will pick up, I don't really care what style they are. They can be mismatched. Does not bother me. And I know Hobby Lobby, Pottery Barn, places like that have, even Walmart. Walmart has Mrs. Claus this year, y'all. Pick that up. I already been there, did that, because Mrs. Claus is always the hardest thing to find. So I'm going to show you a couple ideas of if you do are like me and like mini mugs, things that are small. I'm going to show you a couple ideas what I'm going to do with these. This is just an old-timey vintage metal mug rack. It was made for coffee mugs. It probably had some kind of coffee mugs. I've showed them in my decor for little creamers, little Ironstone restaurant creamers. And I just happened to find a red one. You can find versions of these, paint it whatever your color you want if you want to paint it. But super simple. So I have 8 spots that I can hold little mini mugs. And as I said, they do not have to match, y'all. I think it's more fun, little Holt Howard, that they don't match. Personal opinion, but I will take them if they're all matching. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna turn down anybody. And don't think I bought these all at once. I through antique stores, auctions, thrift stores, and whatnot, auctions, y'all. I have been able to have a collection of them. So that is one idea of something to do with some of your little mini mugs. If you love the mini mugs, but you're not able to find a mug rack, I have another idea. Boxes. Oh, boxes. And then I tend to kind of like all year long look for like the red and green on a box. And this one just happens to have the red and green. But wait till you see the inside. I don't know if it came with shelves or somebody put shelves in it. Oh, I was like, yes, that is crying. And then look at the wording down here. That is crying to have some mini mugs in it. I don't know how many more I have left in my little. I don't know how many more I have left in my little stash, but apparently I've got a few yet. So perfect. Let's see. Last space is a little bit on the short side. And if we're going to have them all different, let's go ahead and make it a little bit different. That one might be a tight squeeze, but I got it in there. I mean, I could try to fit 2, but I'm not going to worry about it. For right now, this little Santa just happens to be in here. See, you can just keep adding Christmas. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and center those little guys. Actually, I love seeing that on the bottom. So we'll just kind of switch them off to each side. And maybe when I get into my home decor, I'll add a little bit more, but this just gives you an idea of things to look for. Now this one is I don't even know how old this paint can is, but I'm like, oh my gosh, that is huge. Look at the inside, and it is big, and it is war. It still has some of the original label on it. It's almost the red color. Could actually like sneak that in with some Halloween, because it red, orange, all depends on how you decorate it. So as soon as I thought this, I'm like, that is just amazing graphics. We should fill this up with something. Because the red is questionable, if I don't try to match up the red color and then just put a handful of some secondhand already used tree branches. Well, they're fake, but it just makes a pretty decor. Now, you could stick a ribbon on there if you're a ribbon person. I don't want to cover up. How long is Gamble? I just realized it's Gamble's. How long has Gamble's been gone? This would be a great one in the entryway, on your front porch. Just look for something that has old advertising and just fill it up with something that's more Christmassy. Trees, trees, trees. They seem to have a gazillion trees for us to purchase, though they're kind of getting sparse and hard to find at a reasonable price. So thrifting them is definitely an option. And then going early, I guess, to get the good ones, because some of them are very questionable how they're made. I'm like, that doesn't go together. You're missing half of it. So these are a couple Target. This is a thrifted one. Silver, white, and green. So your classic colors. Oh my gosh, there's pink, blue. I mean, I think there's a rainbow of colors out there. But I'm going to show you because the bases are not so cute, and how fun and easy it is to just change these into the vintage antique style that I like to decorate in. Tins. I look for tins all year long, especially like, look at their holiday. That one says holiday. This is an old tobacco tin. This is an old candy tin with the great graphics on there, which makes it really easy to bring those trees into the look that I'm going for. And I even have a little square one. Now, I don't throw the lids away. I save those because these all did come with lids, so they just get pushed in your Christmas decor, and then you'd be thinking, why do I have that lid, and what does it go to? But perfect. The white goes perfect with the holiday one. Now you can just flop it in there if you want. And then I thought this one would be very cute over here. And then this one, they have to learn to play nice together. Now, if it bothers you seeing in the tin, if it's not up high and you're going to see in it, tissue paper, just plain white like you can get at the Dollar Tree tissue paper. You don't even have to stuff it very far. Like, you don't have to like stuff it all in, because look at one piece. Trying to grab one piece is a whole nother. But yeah, so just wrap it around. Kind of looks like a little bit of snow. And that just fills it up. If you don't crinkle it too much, you don't need a whole bunch of it. Do y'all love bottle brush trees? They come in so many colors now. All of the holiday decor comes in so many colors. So these are Dollar Tree Easter, and they just happen to be mint green. If you follow the channel, you know that I am a jadeite person. I love to decorate with jadeite. So this would be a perfect opportunity opportunity. Now they do go well with white and the wood, but I want to show you how I would style them as a quick little easy vignette. Now I'm not sure what this piece of wood came from, if it was a lid to a crock, a butter churn, doesn't matter. It's going to be used as a riser now. So I'm just going to set it here. Then I'm going to put all my trees towards the center because you know everything looks better under a cloche, right? It just does. So grouping those three together, not anything, you know, not putting a whole bunch into it, just a simple little cloche. Well, it's not really simple or little, but it's pretty cute. Here is an item that seems to be making a comeback. Old, vintage, new, doesn't matter the color. Gumball machines. So they come empty and you can fill them up with yummy candy. Can you imagine putting peppermints or like, I would probably do something pre-wrap personally so it doesn't all mound together. But yes, they're making a comeback. Though I'm not going to be putting any candy in it. So let me take this off and let me show you what I'm going to be putting in here. Yes, it does have pieces and parts you have to kind of remove first. Santa heads. I think these are old light covers that would have went on a string of lights. And not only did I thrift a bag, but I keep finding them. And I wasn't even caring when I found them if they were going to match or not. So I'm just going to, Santa's just going to kind of go in there, hoping that, you know, we can see his face. I don't know how many will fit in here or, you know. But just the thought of Santa's head, I thought was so super cute. Of course, you can, you know, try to say, hey, go forward so we can see your little face, right? And most of the time, they're already red. That's the cool thing. And you don't even necessarily have to fill it all the way up. I just happen to have this many. And plus, I've got to put this back on there to turn his little head as if they're not ever going to get shaken around or anything, right? That's never going to happen. Get one more in there. Maybe I can fit one more. There we go. So I have to put it back together. I know some of like there are ones that have keys that came from candy stores that you could like collect the money, but this isn't anything that fancy. This is just, I can get this on. There you go. Is that you take something apart and then when you try to put it back together, it's like, no, I don't want to go back together, right? So there we go. Santa heads in a gumball machine. Super cute. Wait, I found the mini one. So I picked up the mini one and I just by happen a bag of mini Santa heads. So though I know there's not going to be as many to fill that up, and it doesn't really matter if it's full or if it's not full. So super cute. Just making your own like personalized decor. Just gonna pour Santa's heads in there. If they will go. This is cute. Okay, we're halfway, so I hope that you're enjoying the content, and I'm giving you a couple ideas of how to tweak your decor if you're interested in this type of decor. Look at that old drawer. Oh my goodness. Just some beautiful patina paint on it. But what interested me is the slots. Places to put littles. Places to put littles. Yes. So look at perfect little shelf there. And you know, sometimes you can't find Santa mugs, or sometimes you have your favorite little collections. But I also like look for anything that's red and green throughout the whole year. And so what I'm going to put in this is spice containers. So red and green spice. This one just happens to be the turkey, the poultry seasoning. Some of them are aged, some of them are not aged. And then if you're like me and you got a couple little extras, you can throw them on top. And then when it gets close to your decorating time, you can fill it in with some other yummies. So I have another little box drawer. Now this one doesn't have the slots or anything in it, but it is cute. It is neutral. It's got a little white porcelain knob on it. So perfect to gather. It's all about gathering those little vignettes together, gathering like items. So I have a whole stack of red and green, or there we go, red and green little books. So what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of going to place them in here. I have more green than I have red, so. And I have some upside down. They don't all have to be like, they can be falling over. Just kind of like they were tossed in there and gathered in there. And then I got a sweet little elf. He is red and green, so I thought he would fit perfectly. See how we're making books into like, yeah, so look for books in that red and green color if that's your vibe. I have this little holiday tin I wanted to throw in there, though the holiday has been, it's been worn off. So I thought that would be perfect. Like I can sit that next to him and you just see a little bit of the holiday. You still see the books. And basically you're just throwing things in a box. But I'm going to add one little bulb to keep him upright. And then we're good to go. Now I just have this is just a galvanized, been used outside for plants probably. But I love the age of it. I love to add the old stuff, the outdoor in, because we're bringing trees in. We're doing evergreens. And like I said, I have a thing for a bearded man. So these are a couple of your rubber face Santas that are all usually, if you find one in good condition, you're very lucky, but I do not mind the wear, like, you know, somebody chewed off his beard. I don't know why. And he was a wind up, but I think they are super cute, just like hanging out together, hanging out together in this little tin. And then I have a piece of some old sleigh bells that'll kind of keep with that rustic theme going on there. I had one more. I wasn't sure if it would work out or not. So they're broken. They make a great accent piece. Okay, so I have another cheese box, and yet again it has the red and the green on it. And we're going to keep this one the long way. And then I have a battery operated candle. This just happens to be a grungy one, and I thought the color would go wonderful. There's something about lights at Christmas time, or the time change, one or the other. And then I have this nice little round base that I can stick it on, and then it fits nicely in there, kind of just illuminates through that box. But you're like, well, that doesn't look very Christmassy. Well, let's stick a bow on it. Pretty easy, huh? You got a red and green box, you got light, and you have, I think these were little bows that Walmart had last year. I'm kind of a fan of the candy striped. It makes it pretty easy. It's wired, it goes right in. Fluff that bow right up, put it back in there, and now look at how Christmassy that is just by putting a bow on it. Now I have this clear glass canister, no lid, but it's about grouping things together that just make a statement. So I just happen to have a random box of red bulbs, which is what I decorate it with. So as simple as just adding, some of these are plastic, some of them are vintage. Vintage ones are so delicate and breakable. So we're not just pouring them in here, that's for sure. Some of them are scarred, some of them have paint loss, some of them are textured, some of them are embossed. But better to get them out of the box and into something cute. I don't pass up a jar just because it doesn't have, or a canister I don't pass up a canister just because it doesn't have a lid. I don't plan on putting any food in it that needs to be protected, I guess. Ooh, I guesstimated that this would fill. Oh, got a little old tinsel trying to go in there. But look at that. I guesstimated right that would fill it. Of course, this is good as is. This is a statement piece, but we can make it a little bit better with some ribbon. Sparkly, candy, peppermint striped. Wired is usually my preference because it makes it easier to shape. Does not have to be a bow. You can make it a bow if you want. I'm probably not going to because I'm just going to make it a knot. Play with the wire. I don't mind if it trundles, so I am just going to cut just a little triangle. Off, just to give it a little bit more character. Kind of love whoever created wire ribbon was so smart. See? If you're not necessarily in the decorating for Christmas mood yet, I hope that I've spiked your interest to start looking for some of these, to create some of these vignettes or similar in your own home. So go out there in the wild go treasure hunting and see what you can find. We will see you next time, and you can see maybe I'll be decorating. The poll is strong, y'all. The poll is strong. We will see you next time. Bye.